Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a nail set using this Beetles Polygel nail kit. So I can't wait to show you guys what I create and what comes in this set. So let's get right into it. So the first thing you do get in this kit is the base gel, and this is a 15 milliliter base gel, so you do get a good amount. And I did go ahead and open it, and I noticed that the consistency is not too thick, but it is not too thin to where it'll be runny everywhere. Then we do get 4 polygels, which I will go ahead and show you guys in a few seconds. But let's get into what's under the box. So you do get these nail forms. I don't like nail forms. I've made that very clear. I don't like nail forms. I don't like how they look. Everything about them I just despise. But I will show you how they look. They're not very curved, but they're also not like super straight. And you also get this buffer, which is more of like a shining block to me. It wasn't really giving me like buffer vibes. But then you go ahead and get this 100-180 grit nail file, which is pretty handy when you're doing polygel. You get your brush and picker tool that comes in every polygel kit. This is the brush, and then this is the picker side. I don't use this, I use my own brush. And then lastly, you do get the top coat, which had the same consistency as the base coat. It wasn't too thick, but it wasn't too thin. And then you do get the 4 polygels, so you do get 4 colors, and I did want to show you these are 30 grams, which equals to an ounce of polygel, which is a good amount, especially for a starter kit. So you get 4 colors, you get the clear, and they are numbered as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go on with the swatches. So the first color I am swatching is number 1, which is the color clear. And this is a pretty clear color, like it's not yellowing or anything. Then we're going to go on with the color white, which is number 2. And this white was very bright. Like I really did like that, because some polygel kits come with like this opal white. It's kind of milky, which I don't really like. And what I also noticed is these kind of have a lot of air in them. So that's why I use like that toothpaste pusher to get all that air out and just have enough polygel at the bottom. So then I'm going in with number 3, which is light pink, and it's kind of like a rosy pink, very pretty. And lastly, I'm going in with this dark pink, which is kind of a translucent sheer darker pink. And these are all the colors after they are cured, and I can appreciate that the clear didn't really yellow. Most times when you cure a clear polygel, it tends to yellow up, which I don't like. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my nail prep, and I'll show you guys how I do that. Okay, so I did go ahead and switch over to my voiceover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I clean up my cuticles. This isn't necessary if you're just going to pop off your nails, but I like to do this just to ensure that I have a cleaner look when I'm doing my nails, even though they are just like one and done, like do them, pop them off. So I go ahead with these 2 bits, sometimes with the third one. So I go ahead and go in with the needle bit and go around my cuticles and kind of clean up and push up that dead skin. Then I go ahead with that circular bit, and you guys will see me do that now. And I do this at a low speed. I don't go past like 5,000 RPMs. So I go ahead and go in with that needle bit, and I go ahead and use that around my cuticles, and you'll see like all that dead skin just being pulled up. It's kind of gross. So once I do that, then I go ahead with the circular bit, and then sometimes I go in with the ball bit and just kind of clean up that dead skin, or I use my cuticle nippers, which you will see me do here. That step is optional. If you do not know how to do that, please do not do that, because you will cut yourself. So I did go ahead and remove all that dust from my nails, and so what I do is I go ahead and use a fine grit sanding band, and I go ahead and use that at around 6,000 RPMs. This is really not a high speed, but I do go ahead and use that on my natural nails. I do have a gel, a base coat, and top coat on my nails to protect them, so I'm just trying to kind of buff that surface out so then I can go ahead and continue my prep. And for my peel off method, I'm doing the peel it off base coat by Macar. I do go ahead and apply that, and then I cure for 60 seconds, and then I do a matte top coat on top of that. That ensures that my nail tips will go ahead and glue onto the nail. So I did go ahead and use my KDS nail glue, and I did go ahead and glue on all my nail tips, and I did leave these stilettos so you guys will see the design I go ahead and do. And with a fine grit sanding band, I go ahead and remove all the shine from the nail tip. And so after I go ahead and remove the shine from the nail tips, I go ahead and use the 100 side of the nail file that came in the kit, and I go ahead and kind of crispen up that shape because I do want a nice pointy stiletto. After I've removed all the shine from the nails, I go ahead and grab the base coat that came in the kit, and I go ahead and apply that to all the nails and the nail tip. I don't think you have to apply it to the nail tip. I just like to do that for extra adhesion so the polygel doesn't lift. So for my slip, I am using 91% isopropyl alcohol. This kit did not come with slip solution, but I am going to go ahead and use like my toothpaste pusher and put that on the bottom of the polygel so I can go ahead and push out all that polygel and go on with my set. And so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and do a white and gold marble, like gold foils marble set. And the first thing I noticed when I was trying to get the polygel out of this tube was a bunch of it kind of just was really loose. Like, I don't know, like you can see like some of it just kind of was just spilling everywhere, which is okay. I was able to still work with it. And the second thing I noticed is the nail tips kind of yellowed after I put the base coat on, which is kind of weird, but it's not that big of a deal because they'll be covered except for the ring finger. But here I am going to go ahead and pat the polygel in place, kind of get it to match the shape that I'm using. And one thing I did notice was this polygel was pretty stiff, so if you're into like a stiffer polygel, then I would definitely recommend this. I wouldn't say that it was difficult to work with if you know how to use polygel, because polygel is kind of a learning curve. It took me forever to actually learn how to do polygel, but I would say that if you are kind of into stiffer polygel and that's what you like and that's what you're into, this is a pretty good kit for you. And so as always, I'm going in with my 2 bead method, so I go ahead and apply some. And while I'm doing that, I'm also just cleaning up around the cuticle area, making sure that the polygel is not flooding, because if it is going to burn your skin and it's going to be a hard time trying to get that polygel off after it's cured onto your nail, well, onto your actual skin. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing that I did on the pinky nail to the thumbnail. So I didn't record the first layer just because I didn't want the video to get repetitive, but like I said, I am going to go ahead and do my 2 bead method when I'm doing my polygel, cleaning up around the cuticle area, making sure that there's nothing there flooding it, so when I cure it, it doesn't cure onto my skin. So my middle and pointer finger are going to be marble nails, so I'm going to go ahead and do some dots of white polygel, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some clear polygel, and then I take the picker side of the polygel tool and then I go ahead and kind of swirl those together to kind of make my marble effect. And then once I do go ahead and swirl them and I like how it looks, I go ahead and start patting that in place. And I did do a thin layer because I do have to encapsulate this with some clear polygel, but I also did a thin layer because I'm also going in with some gold foils. So these are the foils I'm using. I got these from Amazon. They came in a pack of 3. They're pretty big jars, and when I got it, it came in a pack of silver, rose gold, and gold foils, and I am using some gold foils. So what I do is I go ahead and grab the brush from the brush and picker tool that came in the Polygel kit, and I go ahead and kind of break up that Polygel. And so once I go ahead and place them where I like, I go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds, and then I go ahead and encapsulate that with some clear Polygel to give the nails some thickness and to just cap off all that. So once I file, it doesn't go ahead and kind of ruin the design. And once I finish encapsulating that, I do go ahead and cure in my nail lamp for 60 seconds. And because I did the same design from my middle finger to my pointer finger, I do go ahead and just do my pointer finger off camera so the video doesn't get repetitive. And so my ring finger is just going to be a clear nail with the gold foils. So what I do is I go ahead and put one layer of base coat, and then I go ahead and add my foils into the wet base gel. And then once I go ahead and add those foils, I go ahead and cure that in my nail lamp for 60 seconds, so then I can go ahead and cap that off with some clear polygel. Once I'm done applying my polygel, I go ahead with my nail surface cleanser from Gelish, and I go ahead and clean up all the sticky layer from the polygel so I can go ahead and file. You do want to make sure you do this whether it's with alcohol or a surface cleanser. This does remove the sticky layer from the polygel so it doesn't clog up your nail file. So once I go ahead and remove that tacky layer from the polygel, I go ahead with my dust collector and my 8080 grit nail file. This process is sped up, so I'm not actually filing this fast, and when you are filing with a coarser grit nail file, you do want to be careful because you can cut yourself. So what I do is I go over the sides and I go over the nail, and I'll leave some of the filing process in the video so you guys can see what exactly it is that I do. And after I file, I go ahead with my 5-in-1 carbide bit from Pana, and I go ahead and use this around the cuticle area. This is a safety bit, so you don't have to worry about cutting yourself, but I do go ahead and make sure that I'm not touching the skin just in case. But I do this to all the nails to kind of ensure that that cuticle area looks good. And then after I wipe away that dust, I go ahead with my nail buffer and I go ahead and buff out the nails. And so I'm almost done with this set, so I do just want to talk about this kit for a second. Overall, I think this is a pretty beginner friendly kit. Like I said, if you're into stiffer polygels, I think this would be a good kit for you. I would give it around like a 10 out of 10 just because, again, very beginner friendly, very easy to work with, especially if you're into stiffer polygels. But after I'm done buffing the nails, I go ahead and apply my top coat, and then I'll show you guys the final look. And if you did make it this far into the video, I hope you guys did enjoy this set. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you did make it this far, leave a white heart down below so I know that you did watch to the very end. I hope you guys enjoyed this set, and I will see you guys in the next one.